I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. No, I don't have a jar of dirt. Hey, what's going on, my fellow fart knockers and dill weeds? It's Ant Master 5 hanging out with you. Where are we? 8 feet underground, somewhere at the base of the Catskill Mountains in the Gen X locker. Another special edition, a special edition of the Gen X locker, a short, if you will. What are we doing tonight, kids? What do we have? What's in the box? I saw Seven when it first came out, and that was an interesting ride home. I'll never forget that. I didn't know what to say to my date. It was like, so you want to get some coffee? Yeah, what's in the box? Well, I'll tell you what's in the box. But first, weapons. I'm gonna cut this off camera. Dirty weapons. Oh yeah. Does anybody know Killer Dwarfs? Dirty weapons. Let's talk about the guy that got me into Killer Dwarfs. That would be Ed of the Realms of Rock, the Realms of Metal YouTube channel, realmsofrock.com, which is where this box is from. And what is in the box? It isn't Dirty Weapons by Killer Dwarfs, but it's the, oh God. Oh. Ed always hooks you up with stickers and ooh, some some advertisements for Vincent Crowley. Eddie is the realmsofrock.com. He is the official Vincent Crowley merch grabber, merch guy, the official. Look, if you want Vincent Crowley merch, you go to the realmsofrock.com. But in the box, I'm just going to throw this down. Oh, this one. Yeah. Run DMC Raising Hell. And man, so much I could say about I gotta open it because I gotta see if it's like a special color or something. Uh I don't even need notes for this one. This is how this is how dear to me this album is. I got this upon its release. And when did it come out? It came out in, if I do my math correctly, I want to say it was right after my 11th birthday, May of 1986, May 15th of 1986. I don't want to cut anything and I don't want to damage anything. And I keep going off my microphone because I'm so excited. I'm going to say that you can get this at the realmsofrock.com, but I have a funny feeling, like with Metallica, did I buy the last copy? I might have. Ah, my microphone. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying to open this. It's like an oyster. Or if you ever saw Spies Like Us, cut the sucker. While I'm sitting here struggling not to damage anything, and I will tell you about this album. So this is Run DMC's third full length, their third release, and it was released on Profile Records slash. Now I'm gonna have to look. Arista. Profile. I never know how that works when there's like a backslash when there's another slash to a record label. And it was produced by Russell Simmons, who happens to be DJ Run's brother, the great Russell Simmons, and Rick Rubin, which is pretty cool because Rick Rubin is actually from Long Island. And geographically speaking, it is a Long Island record, even though it's Queens. But, the five boroughs, two of the five boroughs are connected to Long Island, Brooklyn and Queens. But these boys aren't from Brooklyn. These boys are from Hollis. What street? Hollis Street. So let's see. All right. So just a standard black vinyl. Oh my god, this is so awesome. I cannot wait to throw this on the turntable. If I knock the cable out of my mic one more time, This album has definitely been talked about for eons. And why? I mean, honestly, the one claim to fame on this record was Walk This Way, the collaboration they did with Aerosmith. And I kind of bought this sight unseen. Well, I saw it, and I remember where I was, how old I was, and I could even remember the weather. That's how much this album resonates with me. That's how much it sticks with me. I was in a place on Jericho Turnpike with my mom and my brother called Cartoons, Tunes. And my brother was picking up an Alpine or a Pioneer or a Blah Punk stereo for his 1985 Monte Carlo SS that he had in white. And they had cassettes in like a locked showcase. And, of course, in true Ant Master 5 fashion, I'm hoarding my allowance money. And I'm like, Ma, can I get a tape? So we called them tapes. And this is what I went for. And I always remembered there were two versions of it. There was this greenish version, or like no, there was a reddish version with green lettering, and there was a purple version with blue green lettering. Anyway, I got the purple, and immediately took it home and threw it in my tape deck, threw it in my Walkman, and was just blown away from track one. I mean, Peter Piper picked peppers, run, rack, rhyme, Humpty Dumpty fell down. That's his hard time. Jackie Nimble was nimble, and he was quick. And then when it got to Raising Hell, oh my God. Kings from Queens come kings. We're raising hell like a class when the lunch bell rings. The king will be praised and hell will be raised. This is the sucker try to phase it, but he won't be phased. I know this album from beginning to end, regardless of everybody knows Walk This Way. No. I know this album is a beginning to end album. You put it in your cassette deck, and if you were wealthy enough to have auto reverse on your Sony Walkman, then it flipped over to side B, and you did not skip tracks. This is an album. This is why I purchased this, because you don't skip. Unfortunately, on a turntable, you do have to physically get up and flip it. But it's just I always use the term landmark album. This was a landmark album. I understand that, the big thing was, did this bridge that gap between hip hop and rock? And yeah, it did. Because, quite frankly, then, later on we saw like, Anthrax do their collaboration with Public Enemy. And, and definitely gave birth to a lot of that hip hop influence that started to show up in metal, like later on, like Biohazard. I mean, come on, you got to give credit where it's due. And giving credit where it's due, I mean, honest to God, Aerosmith should be kissing the bean bags of Run DMC, because they really were falling into obscurity. And 1975, Toys in the Attic was already 11 years old, and let's face it, it was kind of forgotten about. Then all of a sudden, these guys show up. What it was Rick Rubin actually mentioned that during so this was actually, Walk This Way was actually a late recording on the album. The album was being recorded when Rick Rubin dug out Toys in the Attic, and it was, DMC, Daryl McDaniels. It was like, what was that? What was that drum beat? I'll Walk This Way. And suddenly light bulbs went off, and they were like, well, what are these guys doing? Drugs. So it's like, make a phone call to somebody in Boston and get them down here, and let's collaborate. And, the rest is, I hate to say the old cliche, but rock and roll history.
Playing Aerosmith, somebody was playing
Aerosmith. Rick Rubin actually dug out Toys in the Attic during the recording of Raising Hell, and was just playing it, and Run DMC there was no intention of anything. There was no intention of that track ever going. There was no track. It was an accidental thing. And then all of a sudden, DMC, Daryl, heard that drum beat, that classic Joey Kramer, and was like, we could do something on this. And next thing you know,
Just ask them if they could use the sample
they
instead of.
I think that's how it began. Could we use the sample? But then all of a sudden, Run said, "Yo, I can write lyrics to this." And then all of a sudden, a phone call was put in to Aerosmith's
People.
agency, and one thing led to another, and they were like, let's we'll actually re-record, a new version of this. Let's meet up." And then they wound up making a music video, and it just blew up, and it really did. The album blew up, and then Aerosmith's back catalog started to sell, and then honest to God, I mean, Permanent Vacation probably did not do what it did because of this. All of a sudden it just, it exploded. And then let's talk about the other tracks. My Adidas, Standing on 25th Street, Funky Fresh, and Yes, Cold on My Feet. I did not win them. I did not send them. I bought them off the aisle with the back street in them. I like to for them. That's why I caught them. I was a sucker, try to steal them, and I caught them, and I rode them, and I rocked down the street and rocked to the beat with Lee on my leg and Adidas on my feet. And me and my Adidas standing here shooting the give me and my Adidas standing on 25th. I almost have some of it. All right. Um, that was the one thing about hip hop in the 80s. It it wasn't about like what it transcended into the 90s was just, it was the nature of the beast. When there was that whole dichotomy of West Coast and East Coast. These were East Coast. And they weren't talking about, drive-bys or anything like that. They were talking about what they saw in Queens, what they saw in Jamaica, what they saw in Hollis, what they saw in Glen Oaks and Bayside, and then when they went into Manhattan and everything else. I mean, come on. I mean, let's it's tricky. Um, dude, wait, let's see. I'm thinking now. Thinking of lyrics here where he says, uh tinted windows don't mean nothing. They know who's inside. It's tricky to rock a rhyme to, and then of course Beavis and Butthead. It's hard to rock a rhyme. No, it's tricky. Run DMC rapped about what they saw, about what was going on, and everything from Hollis Avenue to 25th Street, Jamaica Avenue, and everything else in between. And these were my hometown heroes. My parents had a pizzeria right in Jamaica, like a stone's throw from Hollis. So it wasn't unheard of that they were around. Did they come into the pizzeria? Daryl did, but he's the only one that did. I think the big misconception about a lot of bands, hip hop artists, whoever, they just think they all travel in packs. I mean, I think DMC was coming in with, I believe one of his neighbors or his cousin. Don't quote me on that one, but he wasn't like just, rolling in with Jam Master Jay and DJ Run Joe. And of course, we did lose Jam Master Jay. God rest his soul. I just can't say enough great things about this album. I can't. I mean, there's just a million things I could say about it. I love this record, and I remember like my cousins, especially my older cousin Melissa. She was experimenting with breakdancing. There was cardboard on the driveway, and this came out in 1986.
See, that came out the year before I graduated.
And you just, yeah, you couldn't get away from it.
And then you find a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. This, like I always said, bridging the gap, bridge the gap. It bridged some gaps, and it was just, I I love Run DMC. I always have had love. I was already into Run DMC, Rock Box and King of Rock. So when this came out, like I said, as soon as I saw it, and I didn't realize that it was a new release, and I was like, oh, I got to get that, and I got it, and it didn't. Excuse me, we don't edit here on the Gen X Locker. It didn't leave my Walkman. It went into the cassette deck of my boombox, and a couple of years later, when I started to drive, still had the cassette, and went into that cassette deck. I know this album by heart. I literally know every lyric on it, even though I screwed up some of them, but I know every lyric by heart. I mean, wait a minute, hang on a minute. I'll prove it to you. Hang on.
I can vouch.
Hit it, run. You be illin. Today you won. Wait. Today you won tickets to see Dr. J. They, come on, they talk about Dr. J from the Knicks. Wait, right? Wait, It was that I didn't watch basketball. But today you want tickets to see to Doctor Front row seats. It's free, no pay. Radio in hand, snacks by feet. Game's about to start. You're chilling popcorn to the beat. You finally wake up. Doc's gone town, round his back through the hoop. Then you scream touchdown. You be illin'. It, they talk about KFC, and it was actually the KFC on Hillside Avenue. Uh, Dinner, you ate it. There is none left. It was salty with butter and it was death. You proceeded to eat it because you was in the mood, but hopes you did not read it was a can of dog food. You be illin'. What the hell does he say about KFC? Oh yeah, I mean they just like I mean I mean shy of talking about Dairy Bond. I mean they talked about like so the KFC was oh my god, how did that go? KFC. I can't remember the lyric about KFC. Ah, that's gonna kill me. But we don't edit here. I remember. He says something about KFC. Minding your own business, eating food and finger licking. This dude walks in looking strange and kind of funny, went up to the front with the menu and his money. He didn't walk straight, kind of side to side. He asked this old lady, oh, yo, 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 is this Kentucky Fried? The lady said, yeah, smiled, and he smiled back. He placed a quarter with his order, small fries, Big Mac. You be ill. All right, hang on, wait. I got to do one more. I don't have my readers on. And his money. Uh, Dumb girl. I see you jacking JC because they got a Mercedes and you know about it, ladies, and all his crazy. You just want to ride and get inside and run around town like Bonnie and Clyde. I know that one. Oh my God. Hit It Run. Raising Hell is like my favorite. Of course, Walk This Way. Is it live? Is it live? Perfection. Uh, it's tricky. I already talked about Peter Piper. Walk This Way. So yeah, just a quickie here on the Gen X locker. You could pick this up as soon as he gets it back in stock at the Realms of Rock. I always link the Realms of Rock right here on the channel. And and you must have in your repertoire. Jetons le quoi, the repertoire for the Realms of Rock. Yeah. So you can check Eddie out at the realmsofrock.com. Go to his channel and please like and subscribe to the realms of metal.com. Ant Master 5 signing off right now because I got to go throw this on the turntable. So keep it here, keep it real. Check out the realmsofrock.com. And is there anything else I forgot to say about this album, about how much I love this album? No, I'm going to go listen to this album. Run DMC right here. Hollis. Hollis Street. Yo, that's Hollis Avenue. What street?